What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Yeah, this Monday morning, up and about, reaching out to you all out there in the West. Just saying hello. I know it's a good evening to most of you all on the East Coast. I know that you're probably pushing on about 12 a.m. Midwest is sitting around about 11, 10, and the West Coast is even a little earlier than that, sitting pushing about 9. Do this morning thought, just as you can see, my backdrop and all is just the skylines of Africa and the peacefulness, the quietness that's going on, and how just one of my mornings are. Good morning, everybody, or good evening, everybody, knowing that most of my people who are subscribed to the channel are in the Westlands. Hearts is out with each and every one of you all. I'm going to keep y'all in tune on the breath and the pulse of Africa. I just wanted to share this morning that messages that sometimes I might bring, doesn't dictate that it's a message that or a situation I'm going through, but a message for you just to chew on. And I know I have some that have basically reached out to me stating that, keep doing what I'm doing. And see some of the brothers and sisters that are up in the morning walking about. There's those across the street that are preparing meals. But, the messages that, let me state that for citizenship real quick, all right? Somebody mentioned about citizenship and all that. Good morning, good brother, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm going to mention this real quick and I'm going to get back to my subject and all. Paul Simon, if you're not in Africa, don't worry about citizenship. People worry about things that has nothing to do with where they are standing at. There are many people who stood on the shorelines who complain about the islands and the countries across that shore, the sea, about the land that they so wanted to go to and could find all the issues and the faults and yet have no intentions of going. These are the people who discourage others. Now, I ain't saying you, Paul, are discouraging anybody, but the conversations that really don't have anything. This is what my morning thought is, okay? The food for thought, is messages. The messages that I'm sending is just a message for you to eat off of, chew on, and look at and consider to dispel or to debunk the thought process that we have. Sometimes messages are for everybody if you're wanting it to apply it to your life. You think I give a hoot about a citizenship in Africa? For what? Please explain to me please explain to me that you would like to move to Ghana and start a business. Okay, have you been to Ghana? Have you researched yourself? Do you need a citizenship to have a business? You don't need no citizenship to start a business in Ghana. What does it matter if you have a citizenship? To make you feel more African? There are thousands of people in Ghana that's been there for years who just got the, I understand Paul might be a troll, but sometimes troll can bring conversation up to allow people to see that, wow, you know what, Go Black is saying this, and I'm thinking the same things. Why, so it's a valid point and a question, but it's also a valid response I'm trying to give to my family. Stop sitting on the shorelines, looking across the sea, trying to find out why or why aren't things the way that you believe they should be. Do you think that people who was Harriet Tubman was freeing to take to Canada or far up north was concerned about citizenship? Do you think they even cared about legality uh, issues, or was they concerned about trying to find a land that was going to prosper them in another way than what the South was doing? Who cares about citizenship? I don't care about no citizenship. What does it matter if you are on a piece of paper? At the piece of paper, that means what? You don't know you're African? You don't know that you are part of this motherland? Do you need man to stamp and document that you are this so-called belong to? Do you even believe in the daggone DNA test? took several of them. I had to come to be open and realize the fact that we are a migrating people. We are people who've moved amongst Africa all these years. And you think a DNA is going to validate that you are African? If you don't know now, you better ask somebody. Now, I know people are saying that they want to become or be, part of a tribe and knowing what tribe you're from and all that right there. Well, hey, to each his own. Like I said, I've taken DNA tests, but what does it mean? Did it gain me anything? It didn't gain me nothing. What, to feel part of? I know the curiosity might be there. I know that, there are those who want to have a belonging, a knowing. But there's many people like Paul who was going to sit there and not come into Africa even to research even the so-called tribe that they say they might be affiliated with. Not to beat up on you, Paul, but I'm just saying. These are messages I'm sending people because these are thoughts that we all have. Saying directed at Paul, Paul brought up a very valid point to where I'm trying to open up your mindset and your thought, giving you food for thought. Yeah, nothing's wrong with a DNA. If that's what makes you happy, that's what you want to do. But does it do anything for you? Has it given you a job? Has it given you any more opportunity benefits of that? We know we're African, And so, this food for thought is just something that, we all can learn from. We can learn from each other. I did the video and people thought the video was about me when it came to, so it's so hard to say goodbye. Sometimes people are so concerned about message for somebody else instead of for themselves. All these reports of what people are saying on YouTube and what about some certain African countries, what are you doing to find out if that information is true or not? I find so many people who are from the countries I am don't even know what they're talking about. They've been gone for so long, they don't even have a clue. They've been over in Europe, they've been over in America, Canada, or any other spot, and claim things are to be when they're not here on the ground. This message right here is for you. Yeah, my sinuses, I've been draining. This message for each and every one of you. When are we going to get to a place to stop listening to people and start doing and researching for ourselves? Because the messages are sent don't apply to everybody. What applies to one person do not apply to another. The only thing I could do, is why I have my channel, is to bring awareness. To allow it to be just a small piece of a message that you can take and add on to or take away from. So I'm sitting out here this morning in Africa. I don't have no citizenship. Has that done anything for me? Will that do anything for me? Yeah, it would make little things a little differently. Don't have to get a visa. But then what is it really going to do for me? What are you doing with your American citizenship? A right to abode, vote, partake in some of the bennies, I guess, that they have for black folks there. I don't know. But this morning message here that I have, the food for thought, African morning food for thought. Paul gave it to me. But it's about that. It's about that. Well, Tanika Lee, yeah, this morning thought gonna be about what y'all feel. Okay. Can you buy land in Tanzania if I had citizenship? Tanika, are you gonna buy? Do you own land in America? Do you want to buy land in Africa? Apparently, it's not really all that big of a deal for you because you're asking me the question. You're asking me the question. Have you did your research? I'm just saying, I am inundated with so many questions that I ask sometimes. Yeah, you're saying if I had citizenship, I could buy land. Well, you could buy land. Um, yeah, you could buy land, but I'm saying that, are you coming to Tanzania? Is that the place you're researching? I mean, help me understand. I have people ask questions. They have no intentions of coming. I have people who want just to know. I have people who just bring up it and just like, well, hey, people are just like, there are conversations that can be very short-lived because there are people, like I said, send emails and I'm responding sometimes. I spend a lot of time trying to answer my emails. There are people claiming they come in 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now. They're going to this and that, this and that. Ain't doing nothing. I asked the questions. What have you researched on about Africa? Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I know I'm probably going a little hard on some of these responses, but it's about everybody has input and messages about Africa, but how many of us are those who aren't even having intentions of coming? Tanika, yes, I am coming to Tanzania, but my husband and I know we cannot buy land, but we are still coming regardless. Tanika, how do you know you can't buy land? I can almost bet you did not research because that's not true. You can buy land. Please tell me, you said you researched it. Please tell me, you could buy land. So we as a people need to really, if you have ambitions or desires, whatever, okay, please do your research. Not personal property. Tanika, you say not personal property for a house, only property for a business. That is not true. What type of business do you want? Do you know you can connect with a local here and help and start a business? You could start a business on your own and have the workers there. There are foreigners. Y'all keep talking about the white man, the China man, and all them coming over here, and they got businesses. Now, how did they get businesses? How is the people that I'm meeting who are from different countries or different different parts outside of Tanzania got businesses? So I'm saying with you, Tanika, is that wherever you did your research, you better start continue to. If you talking about Tanzania, You need to look further into it. Please share with me where'd you get, who's your resource? This is what keep us back from, I remember this right. Let me say this, family. Um, Early on in my military career, I'll never forget this. I had consulted a person about some information, and they told me the information, and I missed out on a great opportunity to achieve one of my goals that I had. I listened to this person who didn't know what the hell they were talking about. As time went on, I began to learn that I better find out personally for myself. I remember that so well when I started to have kids. I told them, you better not listen to people. And what people think and believe and how they see things is totally different than what you have. One of another lessons for me was when I was in college, taking college classes. And I was taking statistics. And I remember everybody, oh, don't take that statistics. It's hard. Don't do this. That's hard. And I took it, and I'm like, this is easy. Why would you listen to somebody who is a total different person than you instead of you looking for yourself, finding out for yourself if you can, instead of listening to somebody else, that you can do the homework, the legwork yourself. People don't want to do the legwork. And if Tanzania is not the place that you have researched for the land, okay, 53 more countries that are left. Which one are you going to? Are you going to go now and research other countries that you can buy a land and start a business? Or are you going to park on Tanzania, you can't own land. Tanzania, you can't own land. They're not giving you citizenship. They're not giving you citizenship. Ghana is, Sierra Leone is. So are you going to go there? If it's so important to own land on the continent, if it's so important to get your citizenship, are you researching to go to those countries that are 54 countries? And we are trying to say what isn't or not for a country. And I'm not trying to go hard on nobody. I'm just saying, why do we keep listening to other people? And I want to know the resources. Do you know I can ask a local here one question and I can ask 5 more and get 5 different answers? Do you know what works for one person may not work for another? We're talking about your goals and dreams, living your life to the fullest, reaching your fullest potential. And many people don't even go for it based off what somebody told them. Like I said, I have people from these countries who live out in the Western worlds who will argue with me about what it is on the ground here, and they want to sit here and say I'm wrong. And then I ask them, okay, where are you? When's the last time you've been home? Because things change daily. No, you can't. It's not like that in my country. It's not this and that. Oh, now it's your country. While you escape to another Western world outside of your continent, and you feel like you got 2 cents to say about your country. No, I'm sorry, you gave that up. No, you have the right to say anything you want about a country. What's up, Eric? How you doing? See, here you go right here. Annie. Can you make a list of the nations in Africa where one can buy land outright or lease only? See, this is what I'm talking about. Anna, please send me $500 right now. If you send me $500, I will make a list of those countries. Do you know how much work that is? Do you know how much legwork that is? People don't want to do their own legwork. I said, you must have came in, Anna, before I said that. People want me doing legwork. But nobody, look, very few people are sending even uh, work money. Time is money. You said, why? What's his name said, why $500? Who said that? Why $500? That's my charge. That's what I feel like charging. Because I know Anna is not going to send a super chat for $500. She's not going to do it. Why? It's not that important. You can charge $100 for the list. I can charge $100 for the list. No, 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 no. See, there we go again. This is, hey, I love this right here. This is what's happening. See, you don't know what it takes for what to do a list. Okay, you've sent me money, Annie. I understand. Now, if you want me to do the list, I'm charging you the $500. Or here's better yet. Let's not even talk about the price. Why not just say, I'll do it myself. I don't want to pay the $500. There you go. What happened to my beard? It fell off. So, let's be careful when we talk about the things that you can and cannot do here in Africa, because the people sending the messages are those who don't even probably have the right information. The only way you're going to know for yourself is you do the research. Because even I don't supply accurate information. I'm only supplying information based upon those that I speak to, and those may not even be fully credible people who know what they're talking about. You know those people. People have just a small knowledge of information. And the information can be outdated. It can be information that they were told. How many books and stories have we read based off somebody else's story? Do you know there's a man and woman behind a book who offer their own perception, beliefs, opinions, ways of life, cultures, and countries that they come from? Will write according to how they perceive it to be. They send in a message. Yeah. Annie, back to you, Annie. Okay. Hope you're still there. Hope you're not bruised. I did a list on my playlist of all the countries that there are African American YouTubers. I broke that list down by regions, and you can click on the country that you are interested in, and there's going to be a YouTuber on ground there. Now, it's not all the African countries, but I spent a lot of time on that list researching people who are on YouTube that you can connect with and be able to ask them some questions. And if you're visiting, to connect, to have a point of contact if you come here. Do you know that playlist that I keep telling everybody about? I still get questions of people wanting me to do homework for them after providing that list. 54 countries, and you want me to provide a list. You know, you want me to provide you a list. Well, it just doesn't happen so often. I'm willing to give at moments in time, but hey, y'all, I would love for some of y'all to start a YouTube channel. I never knew the work it takes to do. You think it's just shooting videos. Sometimes it's editing. I mean, I used to edit big time. Y'all look at some of my other videos. But, hold 1 second, family. You know, my body is going through an amazing thing called detoxing. So, you know, I have the my mucus coming out of me. That's a beautiful thing. And so, you'll have to excuse me when I'm trying to clear my throat. Look at the beauty. Little park there out there for those who missed out on the other day. Early here in the morning time, approaching I think 8 o'clock. and he still had it. Eddie said that what's the name is overcharging land. What's overcharging? Have you been there to see the cost of land? Have you done your homework to see how much she purchased the land for? And if she did purchase land and want to jack the price up, would that be wrong? Isn't that business? But I understand that, you know, everybody's pockets aren't like other people's. And so, yes, I know we talk about those things. But the message, family, this is the African morning food for thought. Have you thought about that the information that people are giving you could be false? That it is stopping and hindering you from moving forward. I'd like for you all, when y'all wake up tomorrow morning, just to be a watcher of your day and see how many times a person speaks in your ear about information they believe. And then I want you to ask them, where did you get that from? More than likely, they're going to tell you from somebody else that they didn't do their research. In order for you to be successful in getting to your destination, you are going to have to work for it. Nothing comes easy. You're going to have to look into and find what is it for you to do. If you rely on somebody to do the legwork for you, you have missed out. I remember my first business adventure, the research I had to look into it. People telling me, you can't do that, or, you know, hey, yeah, you can do that, this and that. And until I find out for myself, then I realized that, you know what, thank goodness. If I would have listened to that individual, man, I would have missed out on this. And it's happened to me many a times when I was younger. I watched people change their whole life goal because somebody told them that it wasn't the field to go into. You don't want to do that. You don't make no money. You don't want to do that. You can't progress. You don't want to do this because of, even some of you all, you know, I'm guilty of this too. Tell your children what fields and areas that they need to go to. Yeah, there are people ask you to do work for them. I already know that game. I already know the game, you know. Very few people are willing to sacrifice. Very few people are willing to go do the work. I'm telling you, I found that out for myself. It made me realize why there are those who are poor still and those who have come out of poverty. I've seen why are those who are able to make it, and I found out why those who are not. I found out why those who have opportunities and why those who don't. I've had to find that out, becoming the watchers, and see why is it that this life is the way it is. We can blame the white man for everything. But there's one thing a white man can't stop. It's God. There is no way. I don't care. There's no way. In America, I have achieved about, I'm going to say, many of my goals. Though there were potholes and obstacles in my path, they couldn't stop me. They couldn't stop me. And the research and the homework and the endurance I had, that's my mindset. You can't stop me. You know, there's things I'm doing for you all just to prove that you can do it. For Annie, I'm going to show you, I'm going to start a business here in Tanzania. You see, because when you're thinking one way, like I said, you know, you got to be a checker. You can't be a checker player in Africa. You got to be a chess player. If you don't know how to play chess, you're very limited in playing this game called life. What does that mean? Checkers really is only 2-3 different directions that you can move, unless you're king. Really, it's one direction you can go forward in checkers. Chess, there are many directions you can go. What do I mean? Why am I saying checkers and checkers? Checkers and chess. Well, because I know some of y'all didn't watch my video when I said that, you know, Africa is not undeveloped. It's the people who are. And I show the men playing checkers. Checkers? They play checkers here in Africa. They play checkers everywhere around the world. But how much options do you have in life when you're one-dimensional? It's because we know our friend Annie, who was making a valid point of asking a question. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. But don't be broadcasting what you found out to be absolute. You can start a business here in Africa. Now, the question of it is, in what options avail you to start that business? Got to think outside the box. Many people are so quick to accept no's in their life. Hey, Breathe. Hey, thank you very much for your donation. Appreciate that. Was that the donation for Annie? She wanted to, she was wanting me to do a list for a certain amount. Many people who have lived life only live one dimension. They don't have really the mindset of thinking outside the box. That means having other options. I'll say it again. You're going to hear me say it again, family, 1,000 times. There's just not one way to anything. For y'all Christians out there, Yeshua said this right here. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody can get to the Father but by me. Some people believe that Jesus is the only way. Well, he said that he's the way, the truth, life, and nobody. He said he's the way. He didn't say the only way. Because of those who adopted a spirit, they have now become the way. And another a way. You think God comes to you in one way? Do you think life opportunities come to you in one way? Do you think that it's just messages and the you know, God bringing messages by a bird, a tree, a car, an individual that drops in your spirit that you awaken and realize this is the answer to my very prayers or my dreams, my goals that I've been looking for. It comes in many a way. Yeah, Yusuf, we the way. Have I not said that if you believe in me and I believe in the Father, that we are one? Have I not said that your fathers are gods? This is out of the lips. And so I want to motivate and encourage each one this African morning, food for thought. Stop listening to others And the messages that are out there all can be used, but you are going to be the one should know how to apply that information. Yeah. The atheist piece. Even atheism. I, my daughter told me, Daddy, I don't even know if I believe in God. And I said, wow, you are at a great place of life to search for yourself now. Don't you go off now because I raised you in something. You now have to find out for yourself. She thought I would probably be upset or something. Say, I don't believe in the creator, Dad. No, you know what? You are at a beautiful place now because you're out on your own and you have to find for yourself. Don't you go off just because I have found what is. You now have to go find out. Now, how many parents would tell them that? You would be like, well, nah, the Lord and this and that. Nah, all I say ain't gonna convince nobody. Look, I told her this right here. You research it yourself. Allow your life be one to be the watcher and listener and lay it all out and find out for yourself what is your truth. Because it's your life. You think I'm upset at atheists or people who don't believe? Heck nah. You ain't got to believe, and ain't nobody can convince you. The scroll says, no man is without excuse because the revelation given, the spirit that has been given is there. It's whether or not you want to recognize something or not. And so you can't go off with these messages of what people tell you because people don't know what they're talking about, and that's including me. What I mean by people don't know what they're talking about. All information ain't just one information. There's a lot of information I don't know in totality. I only know this much information on the subject matter. And that information that you know came from somebody. I can guarantee you more than 90% of what you believe in, your views, came from somebody else. Hopefully the rest rained down within and that you were able to receive that. But I can guarantee you, all your beliefs, your views came from books you read, your mama, your daddy, your environment, the schools. It came from that. Very few people are wanting to find out for themselves so that they can go ahead and live a life free from other influences or experiences. Why would you want to live a life off of somebody else's belief and experiences? Go gather your own, family. Go out here and seize the world. The world has been given you. What works for somebody else don't work for you, and what don't work for somebody else may work for you. Just because a country says you can't get citizenship, them jokers are giving citizenships. And here's the funny thing. You know what? It's funny that some of these African countries give citizenship freely to those who are singers and actors. Give it to them freely. Here you go. There's always exceptions to the rule. So yeah, you know, so Mr. Ex-Pastor, what are your beliefs? What are beliefs, first of all? Okay, what do you mean by beliefs? So if a person's gonna hit me with a question, I gotta understand their belief. What is your thing of belief? Your definition of belief? Because this is my definition, okay? Beliefs are only information that you have that you tend to think is or is not in that particular moment. I believe that. Matter of fact, no, let me back that up. I know that. There's a difference between belief and knowing. Once you come to a place of knowing, there's no way of changing. Beliefs change because you're on a journey. And so you have all these things that you believe that might be. Okay, let me give you an example, family. Has man been to the moon? Put 1 if you believe man has been to the moon. We got to know. Put a 1. Has man been to the moon? We got some 2s, we got some 1s. No, 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 no. Now, somebody said that's debatable. We got question marks. I don't know. Okay. And my point is that we have all these people, the you all, who have given an answer. Has man been to the moon? Some say yes, some say no, some say they don't even know. You know who's correct in all that? The one who said, I don't know. A belief is an information that was given you by another source. A knowing is by your own knowledge, experience, and understanding. When you notice something that you experience, ain't nobody can convince you it ain't. A belief is information given to you. I was not there that day that they said the men went up in the moon. I don't know if they even went all the way up there to walk on it. All they had was these pictures, and that still does not mean it makes it fact because they produced some pictures, because we do know that, hey, pictures have been fabricated. We do know videos can be fabricated. So I don't know. I was not there, but they told me they did. But I don't know if they have, because I wasn't personally there. Personal experience is a knowing, then a belief of information that came from another source. You weren't there. So what do I believe? I hope I answered your question. I have many of beliefs. Yes, yet I have many of knowings or knowledge. And so we are filled up with all this information in us on beliefs, and will wars start over it. We tongue wrestle over all this information because somebody done told you, no, no, it's not. I read here on Google has it. Do you know how much fake information is out there on Google? Do you know how much misinformation is in them books you went to college for? And you run around and will protect and defend the very information that came from another source that you yourself never experienced. See what some people are saying. Some people say Google's not accurate. Of course it's not totally accurate. What is? What is totally accurate? You know what I'm saying? You're right. All this information that we have, you can find another piece of information that contradicts the information. Come on, y'all know how it is. You're in court, right? The defense has their attorney, and they have their so-called witness that is professional, that is going to debunk what the prosecutors are saying. And the prosecutor brought in a professional witness who's going to come and debunk that professional who both work in the same field, and yet they're going to argue against which one is valid. All information, you can find some other source of information that will be contrary to the very information. Now, how are you supposed to know the truth? The only way, family, you gonna know the truth is if you yourself get out there and experience it for yourself. You don't know Africa until you step foot on this soil. You don't even know if I am in Africa until you actually touch me and know that I'm here. I can be in Belize. I can be in Brazil. I can be in the other continents and places that I could have you believing that I am in a different country. Because people always ask, where are you? I could easily say, I'm in Botswana. Oh, and how many people gonna run with that? Nah, he's in Botswana because he said he's in Botswana. I could sit here and say anything, and you don't even know. I could be right now in America, and you would never know. And you would believe I'm in Africa. I just would hope you wouldn't lie to the people. Of course not. I wouldn't want to lie to the people. I'm just saying that as an example. There are people who do. There are people that don't answer to a higher power. There are people who don't give a dang. There's people out here who will write books just for the selling of money. There are people who are YouTubers who are doing this whole thing for money. There's people who are hiding information from you not to even give you the other side, and you think it's a blessing and beautiful country that is, and so that you go wanting to go to that certain country. There's people who will tell you you can't buy land here. They don't even want you to come. You got people telling you, oh yeah, yeah, you got to check out this country here. It's so beautiful, this and that. Yeah, you do this great because they want you to come and bring that money. Because what? They ain't got the money to support themselves, barely scratching to survive, and they created some business or something for you to come so that you can pay them as a means of income. It happens. The only real information and knowledge is the information that you had to live through and know for yourself. That is it. And that is the topic this African morning message or food for thought is that, hey, your life, you're either going to live it for yourself or you're going to live it through others. You're all over the place today. Calm your brain down. I can't calm down my spirit. I can't. I can only let out what is. That's what was that? DeMarco? See? Calm down your brain. People want to put their input and tell me to calm down. Nah, I can't. This is me. This is me. This is how I am this morning. You think I'm going to be the same person every day? Nah. Some days, hey, I'm going to be a different person. Now you get to see that, hey, I'm not one-dimensional. I'm going to lay stuff out there, but I'm going to try to be respectful of everybody. When people throw stuff out here, I'm going to try to be respectful. I say try. Why? I'm not perfect. It's hot than a mother out there. Yeah, the sun's coming out. I love it, though, I love it. And my body's getting used to the area now here in Tanzania because it's pushing out a lot of mucus and stuff like that. But it's getting used to that heat again because, going in and out, too, of these air conditioning place. Yeah, it is the mucus, yeah. Mucus is a good thing when it's coming out. It's a cleansing that happens. Where's your mask? You ain't in America. Well, no. There's a lot of people in America that don't wear masks. Yes, I bought some ginger yesterday. I took some ginger. My brother told me about some ginger too, so I went and bought some ginger, detoxing, sweating is, your skin is your largest organ for those who don't know, okay? And, people think when you run fevers, when you have colds and all, that's a bad thing. No, your body is operating and pushing out these issues that are going on within it. Have I lost weight since I got here? I haven't even been on the scale. Have I been on, I think I was on the scale. I was on a scale when I went to the doctor for my thumb. I was on the scale, and I never checked to see what the weight was. It was in what they weigh in kilograms or whatever. Mix the ginger with garlic. Okay, all right. See, see, here's a great one right here. So people are giving me information because they believe for what they might know, they might have experienced it for themselves. That ginger and what you say, ginger and garlic will help. Only way I'm gonna find that out is if I try myself, and it may or may not. Now, when I come back and say it didn't work, the person might be like, yes, it does work. Well, it works for you. Wow, Go Black, you got some haters on your stream today. That's okay. I need haters. Haters are part of my life. I need them. I need the trolls. Now somebody said guaranteed. Cayenne pepper is guaranteed. Now that's what I'm saying right there as far as the information. What works for you may not work for me. We are all not alike. We are different and different. We are different people. You know, when it comes to our DNA. What's going on, Sandra? But look, there are different modalities that I have taken and went off on and tried in my life. I paused my life to put some things in test because I was in a chapter of my life. I wanted to question everything that I believed in my views. And a lot of things I tested for myself. Very few people want to do that. They rather continue on believing something and not be able to check it, challenge it, you know, and put it to work to see does it actually help. There's a lot of things that I had paused my life and said, I'm gonna go on these journeys and check to see the results of them. I had to dive deep within. I had to travel long without. And I'm telling y'all, I have a knowing for myself. There are a lot of things I just don't go off of what people tell me, you know. A lot of things that I will try. Here's something right here for y'all. Y'all don't know. At the age of 50, I tried marijuana. I heard the experiences and those who were saying, you know, hey, it's this or that, this and that. And so I said, you know what? I've objected to this for many a year. This mother plant from Mother Earth, that's innocent, supposedly, without me ridiculing it, let me see. Now, you know, I ain't gonna try no crack and look, but I wanted to see. Come on, bruh, not at 50, yeah. Well, let me say this right here. I was 14 or 15 years old when I took a couple puffs, scared as a little one back then, you know, but I didn't get no high from it and all that right there. But here, I tried at the age of 50. Experienced the high, did not like it. Can't see how, I know there's different strands of weed and all that stuff right there. But you know what? For me, somebody asked me the other day, what are your thoughts about marijuana? And my response was, you know, there's nothing like a sober mind. For me, it ain't for me. I experienced it, and I'm like, y'all can have that. Yeah, you know, 50 years old. Try marijuana. I know there's gonna be people that, man, why, you know, it's illegal, this and that, or whatever this is right here. Hey, man, this is my life, you know. This is my life, you have your life, and that's how, you know, my thing is that I have a knowing now what marijuana does to this body and to this mind. I'm very well and comfortable in my sober mind that I'm able to freely think not being under an influence of one matter, but yet I can freely operate. I don't like to be under control. I don't like to. I just don't like that feeling. Even when I drink alcohol, when you drink too much, you kind of lose that balance. Hey AJ, thanks a lot for giving. I appreciate that. You said thanks for your truth. I appreciate it. But at least I have a knowing. See, I have a knowing for me that I just don't like being high. I don't like to be, in that place where I got to sit for the high. Man, I'm going to tell you, that joker right there had me, and it affects people differently. But, I had the little paranoia on me and stuff like that. I was like, Friday, like, what's his name when he was in the pigeon cage and stuff, and I'm like looking around corners and, I'm like, I did not like that. Who knows I'm high? Oh my God, they're going to tell that I just did not like that feeling. I couldn't sit still. I'm jumping out of bed and I'm like looking out, going out my room and like, and here's the funny thing, it's like, I'm like, yo, dude, you just need to go to bed and go to sleep, man. And when I came into my sober mind, man, I was just so happy that that was over with. I just didn't, it was just a weird feeling for me. Yeah, so we got to be careful with information. I got to be very careful not to generalize, not to be able to share what something is, because there's no exact whatever when it comes to the information, you know. And so I'm trying to be cautious, but I'm also trying to help because there are those who come to my channel who are inquisitive of Africa. And then my thing is that when I say to a lot of people is, hey, you got to do your research. I got people who write paragraph after paragraph after paragraph asking me to do the work for them. I can't do that. Won't do that. To each his own, Latoya. Yeah, to each his own. And so this morning, this African morning food for thought, as you all are preparing your spirits and your body to lay down and go to rest, I will challenge you as you wake up in the morning time. Just consider that your beliefs and your views and your opinions have stemmed from somebody else. And that the years you've been walking on this earth, that you wholeheartedly believed in this thing without challenge, without research, you could be standing in error. And that information you might be passing on to your children, creating a belief system that may not be exact. BB said, don't just take us on your journey. Okay, I don't know what that means. People will ask you for information and still take no action. Exactly. People will waste your time. My answer to most emails now are, okay, when you get here, then we can talk. And it's sad it comes down to that. It's sad when it comes down that, I'm trying to help those, but I'm willing to help those who's willing to help themselves. Are you happy there? Says Keisha. Keisha, I would not be anywhere that I am not. I can guarantee you that. I will not be anywhere that I am not. Nana says, does he look unhappy? What does unhappy mean? These are words we're using. And I ain't trying to be philosophical and all that stuff right there, but we do use a lot of words. I had to understand about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, what does happy mean? Because I used to use that word. Things should never make you happy. People should never make you happy. It's the love and the freedom you have within yourself that you should be content in. Now, some people, now don't get me wrong, people can bring a dark cloud in your life, and that's where I don't remain at. Yes, I will not be in a place that just is not bringing that happiness or trying to bring a cloud over me, my happiness. Somebody says feeling safe is a sign of happiness. Yeah, everybody has different definitions. My definition is different than your definition. That's why when people ask me questions, okay, please explain to me what is your definition of that word, because we argue over words. Everybody has a different definition for every word that's out here, and we are assuming they understand what we're saying by the words that we speak. And then you know how it is. How many times you got into an argument with somebody, and at the end you be like, "Oh, we're saying the same thing. Oh, okay, now I understand what you because you believe that. Oh, you know." How many times that has happened? Many a time. J5 says, Go Black is free. I would be at a place that I feel that the freedom that brings me is where I will lay my head. Be puffing, pass the roster man. Okay. Yeah. You have to create your own happiness. Well, I feel you on that. Yeah. I mean, if there's a search with create, I mean, I guess you have to find. Yeah. There's another word we can say, find, create, whatever. Yeah. If that's what one, is. I try to tell my kids this right here. If you are not content in knowing who you are going to be unhappy. Knowing thyself first and foremost, I think, is the beginning of the happiness. Because when you know who you are, that means outside forces can't penetrate that, and you can always remain within that peaceful, happy place. Yeah. And I found who I am some years ago. I did the video yesterday, and somebody was saying, when I said it's so hard to say goodbye, and it was a message to the family, people are like, oh, he must be lonely. And I said, lonely? Lonely? Oh, man. Wow. Maybe I need to do a topic on loneliness, because I had to find out for myself that you're never lonely. But I did find out I did not like being by myself. I was used to being around people. But I found that the advantages of being by oneself gives you the opportunity to connect and to find and discover or rediscover who you are. I bet you there's many people in this chat are afraid to turn the lights off at night and turn the TV off. I bet you, check this out, family. How many of y'all can sit down at a restaurant or go out into a place by yourself and not touch your phone and just sit there in peace? Many people gotta fidget around and put some in their ears, the buds, and be on and scroll on because people feel uncomfortable by themselves. There are people can't even sit in their house without TVs on and all because they need noise, they need distractions. Look, when I was in the military, and I told y'all I used to be first sergeant from some of the troops the last 2 years of my career. I cannot count on how many fingers that I had people say they were scared at night. Yeah, was that Yusuf? Yeah, hey man, you're right. You're never alone. That's why I said the creator. When I do this, I'm pointing like this, but it's the creator. We are walking in the bosom of the creator, and the creator is within us. That the creator is in all things. Yes, the beach, the woods, the parks, everywhere you go, you're never by yourself. Yeah, Kay, alone time. I'm gonna tell you, if one can be quiet and sit alone, you would be amazed of the things you're able to gather and put together in your thought of trying to resolve issues or come up with plans and stuff like that. It is amazing. You see this TV right here? This, apartment came with a TV. She purchased TV and all right there. I told her, I don't even watch TV. That TV, I'm not buying no cable and all that stuff right there. What is the TV gonna do for me? That's just me in my life. I've seen the movies, the shit series, TV shows, and all that right there. It's all the same. The same storylines, the same gimmicks, the same news. There's nothing new underneath the sun. What is the TV going to do for me? I said, for me, you know, but I love the alone time. I do it in my marriage. Every 3 to 4 months, in my both of my marriage, my first marriage, and then I went to divorce, and now my marriage thing, I have to have a so-called getaway time. Have to. A retreat. I have to have that to gather all my thoughts and all, be by myself, family, just put the family there on hold back there. And I have to re-engage and see what's the next move, the next direction, the next place that I need to be setting upon. This is what I do. I'll be gone for maybe a week. Do I meditate? Of course, that's that sitting alone and being by oneself. I went through the practice of knowing how to quiet my mind without thought. Man, you talking about challenge yourself. Do that, family. Challenge yourself to sit still and try to quiet your mind. No thought, just being in the present moment. Man, you talking about work, but it's attainable. Have I ever floated in the air? I have never floated in the air per se, physically wise, but I had two experiences having an out of body experience, watching myself outside of my body. Twice it happened to me. Do you pray? Do you pray? Cuz pray. What does pray mean? What we think the prayer is close the eyes, put your hands together, and all that right there. I call prayer speaking out into the atmosphere. That's the power we have, is you speak out in the atmosphere. Think about it. Majority of things in your life is based upon what you said. Or a lot of things in your life that you don't have are based off of what you say. I don't want to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going here. I'm not going to go there. I'm this and that. All that is predicated off speaking. Before I walk out the door, I speak protection over my life. Morning footprints and wheels. Yeah, family. And this is just, I hope that this is helping some of you all, because like I said, my African food for thoughts, are to just to help and assist people to prepare themselves. I've said this right here. If you think just getting to Africa or relocating anywhere is just a physical task, you really are setting yourself up. KK and K Squad, they came on a physical level, but the spiritual level was not prepared. They went through a culture shock. So you can come and bring stuff with you, but if you are not spiritually prepared or ready to come and be faced with a lot of different things on a mental and spiritual level, you'll be wound up right back over into America. Because there's a lot of things that they do differently that can wind you up. Uncle Black, do you feel like Africa was the missing piece to the puzzle? the missing piece, I kind of think I know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna say that it is just part of a puzzle that I wanted to fill in. It wasn't missing. It was always there. It was just for me to do it. Me to go to Africa. The pieces are on the table for you. There ain't no pieces missing. The problem we have is action. Just follow through what we're saying we're going to do. So that's kind of how I see it. We have all the pieces readily available to accomplish anything that we have a hearts of desire. In retrospect or in actuality, that is at least in line of your or in the area of your control. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in the old saying, you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. I just do not believe that. There are variables in place that can keep you from attaining that. There are many people who's gone on the venture of trying to accomplish goals and never reached it because of variables that were in their place. You have only the power of what your body is able to handle, your mind's able to handle, and your spirit is able to handle. And if you can't handle certain things, you won't be able to achieve it. That's why people change their minds on different goals, dreams, aspirations. That's why there are people out here on a physical level who went and worked out hard, wanting to get the gold medal and all that right there, could not attain it. Body won't allow them to. Somebody's body was better. There's people's minds who's able to obtain information, more than others, and able to get information and understand information. And there are those who are unable to, that won't allow them to go in different fields that are out there because of passing tests. You got to take these tests to be able to get certified, get licenses and stuff. And you just may not be able to attain that mentally, physically, or spiritually. Just like when I start talking, people say, you crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. So my thing is, no, you just don't get it. It just does not vibe with you. So find you, family. First and foremost, if you don't know who you are, don't ask nobody because they're sitting here waiting to tell you. Good morning, Kareem. People are anxious. This world is anxious to tell you what you should do with your life. Look at it now. Look at the LGBT movement. The main movement around the world, the largest movement around the world is the LGBT, LMNOP, because they keep putting more and more alphabets on it because they're trying. It's a net that they're casting to try to get people to move outside of who they are and for them to define who they think that you are. If you feel this way, you're in this category. If you have feelings this way, you're in this category. If you have thoughts like this, you fall in this area right here. If you've been with this person or don't like this person, haven't had sex, or if you have this net, you fall in this area. That net has been casted and ruined many of people's lives. And our youth now in the Western world, they off the chain. The children today believing they something that they're not has destroyed a lot of them. Look at our youth. I have never in any time of my life until this point to see how children, my daughters tell me about their friends, changing gay, going both ways, calling themselves opposite sex. This is what America has done to our people. People want to talk about the freedoms and all that right there, and they're watching the culture die. But because of your money, you think you're in a good place and that you going off of what they're telling you that you can do and be. Isn't that true, family? Come on now. Come on. We are some following people who don't even realize those that we follow at times ain't even been through the grind. We follow some people who just who has no sense. We follow people who are failures. People who ain't got no experience. He's a Leo. Yeah. So we have to be careful. That's why when I'm presenting information, showing the footage of Africa and all that right there, you're going to have to come up with just a portion of what your own belief. There again, my definition of belief is that beliefs change. Because didn't they have us believe Africa was the starving, poor area that needed everybody's help, and it's a third world country? Why do we still call Africa a third world country? Definitions given by the Europeans. Africa is not hurting for you to come and help and save it. Not at all. Africa is thriving in various countries and doing its thing. So in my closed family, check yourself. Check yourself and see your beliefs, your views, your opinions, why they are what they are. And ask yourself, where did I get that from? Why do I believe that? Why do I feel this way? You know, they say third world's to keep us from putting money in Africa. No, they're saying third world because they trying to keep Africa from putting money into you. You don't need to put money into a country that is the richest continent in the world. What do you think countries are doing? Countries are taking out. They are reaping the benefits of Africa, putting money into their pockets. We don't need to put money into Africa. Africa is sitting here ready to put money in your pockets. The opportunities presenting itself to you of which direction you want to go on. Now, like I said earlier, there's going to be people who say, but you can't buy land. You could buy land anywhere. You could buy land anywhere. I don't care what the law says. Money talks. But they won't give you citizenship. Are you sitting around waiting on a citizenship? When this land is out here, you got people out here will allow you to partake in their land here, do what you got to do, and give them a little cut, and they call it a day. And you make that money. And your dying days right here, it goes to them and their family, so what? But you know what? It prospers you too. Nothing says that you have to go buy land for yourself to call your own land. No man owns the land anyway. They got us thinking that. AJ White, will we do a visa requirement video for Tanzania? Yeah, I will. I'll be, this week I'll be doing, going down there to check on a business visa. No man owns land. You think you own land. You don't own no land. They told you that, especially there in America. You rent land. Anytime you're paying taxes on something, month by month by month, or annually, for the rest of the days of you owning that, you're leasing it. Now, but I got the deed to my property. Okay, all right, okay. If that makes you feel good, all right. But you stop paying that rent and tell me who's coming to take it. Ask the people who thought they owned land that was in Rwanda when their whole genocide happened. And people coming back and the land that they owned, somebody done took over. They can't do nothing about it. It's gone. Or given over to somebody else. You own land? If you want to do business ventures on land, go for it. But take out the mindset of owning. That's an American way. They want to own everything. And to include us, they've owned human beings. Still to this day, there are people out here owning people. Let's just enjoy what is out and given to us on this land. Use the land for whatever the purpose you would have, and then just go on to the next dimension when the days call you for you to take your last breath. Because the majority of y'all who keep talking about land ain't going to buy land. And those who have land, look, I know people who own land, and there's a lot of people who don't do nothing with it. Yeah, I got 15 acres, 20 acres, 100 acres, and doing nothing with it but paying the taxes. Got your house on all that land for you to brag that you got land and ain't doing nothing with it. You got people who got small parcels of land, a quarter of an acre land, got a house on it, and won't even put a garden on it to even grow their own food, doing nothing with it but paying taxes. Yes, Dinez, yes, eminent domain is real. They took my granddaddy's land when his house years ago, I think it was in the 50s, late 50s or 60s. My dad said when they ran a highway through it, where they used to stay. So we can feel comfortable in saying that we own land. I understand, yes, an accomplishment that you purchase something and all that right there, but just lease land, because people over there in the UK and America and all that, but over there you lease land, you never own it. Okay, the land in America you're leasing. You're paying taxes on it to the day you die. You will always be paying a lease on it. You're leasing that land. What is the taxes for? Whatever they want to do with it. So it's the perception, isn't it? It's how we perceive things. Will you ever go back to America to live? I couldn't tell you what my tomorrow's gonna bring me. So I couldn't answer that. It's one thing I've learned and to say is not to say is never. Y'all hear this saying, does this make sense to you? You know, this was something that I had a question why we say, when people say never, but you just said never before you said never. Never say never, but you just said it. We say some of the darndest things. Never say never, but you said never. Yeah, that's funny. Or here's one right here. When people ask you this right here, hold up, what's somebody asking right here? Zoe Life. Zoe, you got to do your homework. How much is an acre of land in Africa? The whole continent of Africa, and you want me to answer? Let me ask you this right here. How much is an acre of land where you live? And you're going to get what I mean then. You can't even answer that question. How much is the acre in the continent or the country you live in? Caroline says, Tanzania has extremely good land. It has everything. You know, I'm funny with words when I'm reading words, or I'm very cautious because these words you can't measure. What is extremely good? How do you measure that? It has everything. What does that mean? Everything. I think any land's good if it can grow something on it. If you can't, yeah, it ain't good. But extremely, that word extremely and good. Well, these are words that we trap ourselves with words. We trap ourselves with words, and then we sometimes don't even realize what we're saying because we can throw off mixed messages based off the words we use. Somebody said, at least beachside property. Many people want to live by the beach. Do you know how destructive living by the beach is? Sand is always in your place. The corrosion of the salt that causes to metal. And sometimes you have to deal with foundation issues because of your foundation on sandy foundations. Many of the seashores have come and taken over properties next to the beach land, taking the beach land. Many of things, Yeah, I know you didn't say you was gonna live by there, brother. But I'm just saying by the beaches, beaches are very, people want to be living on the beaches, by the beaches. Yeah, erosions. Many people do. And here in some of these beach areas that I've seen, you know, the showers, faucets, and the metals are all corrosive and just like ewy, you know. Um, the especially if you're dealing with climates that are damp, moldy, you deal with a lot of issues that people just really don't foresee. It's a fad too. I almost bought some property by the beach, because I knew that, hey, I could make some money off of there. But then when I really started researching it, the issue sometimes you got to deal with being by a beach. Constant maintenance on things. I didn't want to deal with that. Yeah, the ocean melt water. Yeah, high maintenance. It's maintenance dealing with on a beach. Don't cut your beard next time. My beard fell off, y'all. Okay, it fell off. Just I woke up in the morning, it was gone. Yeah, you're just not used to seeing me without my beard from some of you all. But if y'all watched the beginning of starting my YouTube channel, I was clean faced. I think I had a goatee then. Would you live in Zanzibar? Yeah, I could live in Zanzibar. I still got to make it over there and get footage over there for you all for the property that foreigners can own. Because somebody on here on the chat earlier said that you can't own land in Tanzania. So, family, the I'm going to go ahead and put this to an end. I will be back as you all rise and shine. Hopefully, whatever my day brings that is an interesting footage and all that I can just share with you, just a piece of Tanzania. I always say the piece because it ain't the whole story. People get wound up when I say things like, well, this or that, and they think I'm talking about in totality. No, I'm just giving a piece of Tanzania. And with that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. Each of y'all have a blessing. Thank you for each and one of those who was gracious enough to go ahead and give financially, as well as those who gave their time. Gave your comments, your beautiful comments and your admiring words, towards me, give blessings and your peace and blessings to me. Yes, thank you very much for those who are extending that hand of love. All of those things, I appreciate each and every one of you all, and I hope that you all will continue to share the message for those who might have an inkling of wanting to come visit the continent of Africa, or even just hearing a good word here or there. Thank you very much. Y'all enjoy y'all evening, day, and morning. Thank you.